Welcome to the deep dive. This week, we're plunging into a study that, well, it really grabbed my attention. Deeply personal, but also incredibly insightful. It's called Daddy Daddy, a critical autoethnography of the first adoption by a same-sex couple in Malta. A powerful look, really, at what happens when a new kind of family meets established systems.
Yeah, and what's fascinating is how it goes beyond just one family story. Its real aim, its core objective, was to understand these complex social anxieties surrounding same-sex parenting in Malta. It tries to reveal the hidden inequalities, within those conventional family ideas.
Inequalities in power dynamics, homophobia too.
Exactly. Power dynamics, homophobia, and it really makes a case for needing more local research on this. We often miss what's right under our noses.
Okay, so how did they approach this? I mean, studying something so sensitive, so new, especially within an academic framework, what was the method?
Well, they chose autoethnography,
Yeah.
which basically means the researcher is the subject. They describe and analyze their own lived experience.
Your own life becomes the data, essentially.
Precisely. For something as intimate as this adoption, same-sex parenting, it gives this authenticity you just wouldn't get otherwise. You feel the friction. It can expose biases that, numbers alone might just gloss over. But as you can imagine, it wasn't exactly smooth sailing ethically.
Right, because the study is literally their story. A gay man married to another gay man, parenting their adopted child who has a disability.
Mm,
And theirs was the very first same-sex adoption in Malta. But the ethics board, they initially rejected it.
they did. They questioned whether their son could give truly informed consent, given his Down syndrome. The vulnerability there presented real ethical complexities for research.
But what did they do?
It forced the authors to, well, heavily mask identities throughout the research process to protect everyone involved.
Okay, so through this deeply personal and clearly challenging method, what did they actually find? What did this journey reveal about the system itself?
Well, first off, despite Malta having legal rights on the books, major barriers still exist, big ones. For instance, the study found something quite stark. All 28 children offered to same-sex couples from Portugal for intercountry adoption.
Hmm.
They were all older children with multiple disabilities.
All 28. Wow.
Yeah. It echoes this historical pattern, this sort of second-class parents for second-class children thing seen elsewhere, like the UK and USA historically.
So children considered harder to place were being disproportionately offered to parents who were maybe seen as less ideal themselves?
That's the implication. It suggests a really concerning cycle of prejudice baked into the system, even if unintentionally.
And then there's the money aspect, the cost.
Oh, absolutely. International adoption costs between, get this, 20,000 and 60,000 euros,
60,000 compared to what for domestic?
compared to maybe 3,000 to 5,000 euros domestically. Even with a government grant of up to 10,000 euros, that international cost is prohibitive for so many people.
It really puts it out of reach. It shows how financial hurdles can just reinforce other biases, can't they?
Definitely. And then there's the direct experience, the author details,
Yeah.
encountering what they termed antagonism
Antagonism. From who?
and being treated like a second-class applicant. This is from some adoption professionals who seemed, well, ill-equipped or perhaps resistant.
Wow. And they also mentioned having to come out daily, didn't they? To friends, family, even government offices.
Yeah, facing these really awkward, probing questions like, so who's the mummy between you? You can just feel the weight of that constant othering.
It highlights how deep these assumptions run, doesn't it? But you mentioned a bombshell insight?
Right, get this. Malta's own prime minister at the time publicly revealed something quite shocking. He stated that over 50 normal couples, and those were his words, had actually refused this particular child because of his disability.
50 couples turned him down before this couple adopted him.
Yes, before he was adopted by the same-sex couple. It's a sobering statistic. It forces you to ask what normal even means in this context, and who gets to define suitability.
It really does. And surprisingly, there was even some pushback from within the gay community.
That's right. This study noted some alienation there, too. Some viewed gay parents as, like, conforming to a heterosexual lifestyle, which is another layer of complexity.
Okay, so pulling this all together, what can we take away? What are the recommendations coming out of this really powerful story?
Well, the study is very clear on several points. It stresses that adoption decisions absolutely must only be based on a parent's suitability for a particular child.
Yeah.
Full stop. No prejudice. The child's welfare has to be the only factor.
Makes sense.
And there's a clear call for mandatory training for adoption professionals. training specifically on LGBTQ plus issues, diverse families, unconscious bias, that kind of thing.
And transparency, too.
Yes, transparency in auditing adoption lists
Yeah.
to prevent potential abuse or, just unnecessary delays based on who the applicants are. But maybe most importantly, it advocates strongly for representing diverse families, all kinds of families in schools, in society generally,
Why is that so crucial?
to reduce that social stress on the children themselves, and to foster genuine acceptance by helping everyone understand the reality of different family structures. It's about normalizing diversity.
So, when we boil it all down, what does this deep dive really tell us? For you listening, it seems to show that dialogue, that sharing these stories really can help overcome fear and misunderstanding. But it's also starkly clear that just having legal rights isn't the end of the story, it's just the start.
Exactly. True equality needs that deeper systemic change.
Mm.
And maybe collective look at our own assumptions about what makes a family.
A really important point. So maybe the question for all of us is, what assumptions about family, about parenthood, might you need to challenge? Something to think about.